Alright, Chad, what you're looking at is a quick drawing I put together for you to help you understand my comment to you yesterday. I would assume that your entire layout is just one big complete loop, okay? And your south rail, as you're calling it, let's say is positive, and your north rail is negative. If you follow that around, no matter where the south rail is, it's always going to be positive. Positive, negative. Now, when you add this siding, which is your yard lead, the rail should still be the same, positive and negative. And it don't matter how many track you have inside of here, they all should be the same. I'm assuming that, and I really shouldn't assume, that your problem started happening when you installed this turnout right here. I think that your yard track might be wired wrong, or your yard lead might be wired wrong. Well, you don't have any wires on your yard lead, but you do have wires in your yard track itself. So I'm thinking that the short is going to be somewhere in your yard lead. Now I'll explain to you what a reverse loop does. When I originally designed my layout, it was going to be a point-to-point. And my rule of thumb is I always put the positive on the south rail. So you see here's one positive and here's one negative. And then on the second set of track, I put the positive and negative in the same place. If you follow this around, you notice that it's still positive here and it's still positive here. But now when it gets to this track, it comes to a negative. So what you need to do is you need to insulate here and here and put a reversing loop in there. And the job of the reversing loop is to reverse the polarity in milliseconds so you don't create any kind of shorts as you're traveling around. So the train will come in this way, it'll be on the positive rail, on the south rail, and now the south rail is still positive, but you have a positive meeting a negative and a negative meeting a positive. So there has to be a break here and here, and the reversing unit will splice in there in the middle. Anyhow, I hope this helps you out, Chad. And if any of you guys chime in and let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, I would appreciate the input myself. And I am learning this by experience. So anyhow, that's it for now. Hope this helps you out, and stay tuned, and I'll be doing some updates and shout outs to some of my friends. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, I'm going to do a couple of shout outs, and then I'm going to show you the beginning work on my Helix. First of all, I want to thank the next 4 or 5 guys that I mentioned for their great contributions to my layout and helping me out here. I really do appreciate it. And so we'll go with Mr. David Durbin, Mr. Craig Gausto, Frank, I don't know your last name or I can't pronounce it, but it's Dexter Dog 62, Mr. Ray Pruitt, and the last one is Billy Baldwin. Billy is a real good guy. You guys ought to check him out. He's known as Bald 8 Bill, and what you see behind me here is something that he sent me a few days ago. So let me go around behind the camera and I'll explain the map right here. Be right back. Alright, this map is a map of the BNSF trackage throughout the United States. But what I was mostly concerned about, and good job on this one, Billy, is this right here. This is my my layout, subdivision, and let's see if I can do this somehow. I can't get this in focus. Anyhow, the yellow line you see going north and south is the P-Vine sub. And I model from Phoenix, which is the furthest point south, all the way up to Ash Fork, where it meets the BNSF transcontinental layout. My Helix will include most of the towns that are in between here that I don't have enough room for, so it's going to be an imaginary thing. As the Helix goes up, maybe I'll mention what town they're going through or whatever. Anyhow, I know I say anyhow quite a bit, and I try to get out of that goddamn habit, but I can't. So we'll be back in a minute, and I will show you the progress or the start of my Helix construction. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Alright, just want to mention one other thing before we get on to the Helix. I've been trying to stay as prototypical as I could with my layout. But I watched quite a few videos where guys are running trains around their layouts and doing switching up, so I wanted to have that. So, henceforth, I will be having 2 reverse loops on my lower level. But, last night, or the night before last, I watched a video by TRAICSX, Joey. He did a video on his ethanol plant, and I was very impressed with the way it looks. So, up on my second level, even though it's not a prototype, I will be modeling an ethanol plant, and I might do a few other structures and industries that are not really on the P-line. But anyhow, it's my layout, and thanks to Jason, Defiant47, he says I could use my modeling license, so I'm going to use it to its fullest extent. Anyhow, again with the anyhows, can get rid of that habit. Stay tuned, and we'll get to the next part, which will be on the Helix. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, you're looking at the beginning of my Helix. I've watched quite a few videos on how to build them. A couple of them that come to mind right off the get-go is Greg from Fish Plate Films and Terry from Penn Central 99. Watch their videos on building Helix, and I will probably follow their directions. Anyhow, I am under the assumption that 1 inch in 4 feet equals a 2% grade. So what I did was I made this little tool, my incline tool, my grade measurer, whatever you want to call it, and I added a 1/4 inch piece of hardboard down here, and the total length is 12 inches. So I can measure this at 1 foot increments if I wanted to. And as you can see, let me get in there a little bit tighter, that my bubble's right in the center where it needs to be. Now I'm going to pass in front of the camera, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, but anyhow, let's see if I can get it done. I measure usually in 3 or 4 different places, and then make adjustments as I go along. So going by that rule, if I take my incline meter and put it here, which is about, let's see, I'll get it zoomed in a bit. Okay, you can see, or I hope you can see, the bubble is still in the center, and it is approximately 8 feet from here to where this is right here. And if I take my tape measure and measure it, you'll see that I have a 2 inch space there, which means I have a 2% grade. Now, for the next thing, is I had to measure, make sure I had clearance in here. I got to move the camera around a little bit so you guys can see it a bit better. There you go. I'm a little concerned right now because I think I might have to increase the grade, because when I put the second piece over that, the clearance inside of here is not going to be enough when I have to join my pieces together. So just let me give you an idea of what this is going to look like. This piece was already cut a while ago, and I'll put it on here just to give you an idea. And of course I still need to make some adjustments to it, but basically that's what it's going to look like. These blocks will have to be cut to precise measurements in order to keep my grade at a constant 2%. Like I said, I might have to change a bit of it. I don't intend to do a video on every step of this build, but what I will do is at least the first and second loop, and then the rest will be just repetitious all the way up to the top. I do have I think 4 more pieces of 1/2-inch plywood that are already cut to 4x4, and all I need to do is cut the circles out. I already have 1 circle, or actually 2 circles already cut out, and I'm thinking that I'm probably going to need about 7 to get to the top of the helix. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and for now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 out.